Welcome everybody to your WWE Extreme Rules preview and predictions. This is Joel Perez over Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and today we're talking about the card, everything surrounding Extreme Rules, the Raw exclusive pay-per-view coming up this Sunday, June 4th, and what we gotta say about this pay-per-view. How's the build been? What do I think is gonna happen in these matches? What do I think the quality of this match is going to be? And of course, who is going to walk out the winner, and what this will mean going forward for Monday Night Raw. Now, right now, going forward for Monday Night Raw, it's looking like complete bullshit. Just straight off, right off the top of my head, everything I think when I think Monday Night Raw is garbage. I literally see a landfill when I think of Monday Night Raw, and especially in the build to Extreme Rules, I don't think there has been one good Monday Night Raw leading up to Extreme Rules. Matter of fact, it's not I think there hasn't been one good Raw. I know there hasn't been one good Raw, because everything they have done, like I say every time we talk about a Raw exclusive pay-per-view, every time we talk about a Monday Night Raw, Raw is lackluster, boring, mediocre, unoriginal, lackadaisical bullshit. And I don't need to repeat that to anybody. If you sit down in front of your television and think at the end of that 3-hour goddamn show that you just saw good television, you are a clown, bro, because every single week I sit there and every single week my eyes end up closing because of all the dread and despair that surrounds Monday Night Raw. I couldn't even name 3 matches of this show off the top of my head when I was trying to do the recordings in WWE 2K17 for this goddamn video. I'm like, what matches are on these shows? Like a Fatal 5-Way, right? You got, and then I draw a blank. I'm like, what other matches? I mean, but this show, it's probably going to be a good show. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. I'm not going to tell you what isn't true. It's probably going to be a good show. The Monday Night Raw pay-per-views are always good shows. And it's not because Monday Night Raw did a great job at building storyline. It's not because Monday Night Raw did a great job at building investments. It's not because Monday Night Raw and their creative team did anything right. It's because of the talent, the level of talent that you have on that roster, and especially on a pay-per-view. It seems like that talent is ready to go out there and put every single fiber of what they have in them, every single piece of in-ring ability that they know they bring out, it comes out on a pay-per-view. And that's why these Raw exclusive pay-per-views like Fastlane, like Payback, end up being good shows, because everybody on that Monday Night Raw roster, like, kicks it up a notch, bro. So it's a very, very good pay-per-view, but when you look back at the build and the Monday Night Raw going into that pay-per-view, you just say, what the hell was that? And it seems like a lot of people forget during these pay-per-views that, Jesus Christ, remember what we had to endure to get to this point? Jesus Christ. And really, going into a lot of these matches, I find myself zoning out because there is no investment. That's another problem. There is no investment with what's going on here, bro. I am not invested in this Fatal 5-Way. As interesting as it is, as newsworthy as it will be, yes, I see a lot of things going on in that match, and I'm looking forward to it. Just for the mere fact, and I'm sure you're looking forward to it as well, just for the mere fact that you got a Samoa Joe in that ring, you got a Seth Rollins in that ring, you got a Finn Balor in that ring, a Bray Wyatt, a Roman Reigns. These are your top caliber guys, and that's the only reason you're invested in it, because you know you're going to get a fantastic goddamn match out of what you're going to see in that ring. And you're probably going to get a fantastic match out of Sheamus, Cesaro, and the Hardys. You're probably going to get a fantastic match out of Austin Aries and Neville. But at the end of the day, are you really invested in what you are seeing? Are you really interested in what you are seeing? Is this pay-per-view going to make you say, damn, Monday Night Raw and their creative team did a good job here? No. No. And that's the simple matter of fact. No, it's not going to be a good pay-per-view when it comes to the story. It's not going to be a good pay-per-view when it comes to probably the result of these matches either. So, I mean, yes, what's in the middle counts, and yes, what's in the middle are the matches, but in between, from before your build, it's terrible, and after your result, it's terrible. I mean, it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, even though what's in the middle, the match, is probably going to be very, very good, probably even fantastic. So, there's always, with these Monday Night Raw feuds, that dilemma where, damn, that was a great match because you have a Finn Balor and a Seth Rollins in there, but damn, was that build terrible. But damn, was the result terrible. And that's what they leave you with every single goddamn time you see a Raw pay-per-view. So yes, these Raw pay-per-views are good. Yes, this pay-per-view probably is going to be great. But it's going to be because these guys can work their asses off. And that's not the only thing that makes a pay-per-view. That's not the only thing that is going to make Monday Night Raw successful. That's why your ratings are plummeting. Because you're not going to see these type of matches every single week on Raw. And people know that. And people know that. And the less people paying attention to Raw, the less people paying attention to the pay-per-view, the less people paying attention to the wrestling industry, and that's not a good thing. So things need to improve, and that's how I feel going into this pay-per-view. Yes, it's going to be great. Yes, it's going to be a fun time watching all these guys go in the ring because they are great in the ring. But when you think of the storyline, when you think of what we're probably going to see at WWE Extreme Rules, I mean, Jesus Christ, I am scared. Because we're probably going to see Roman Reigns winning that Fatal 5-Way. We're probably going to see Bayley winning back the championship from Alexa Bliss in this glorified match. I don't know, bro. I do not know. But it's going to be an interesting watch. Is WWE Extreme Rules. And I will hopefully have my eyes open wide for this pay-per-view. For now, ladies and gentlemen, before we go in to the Extreme Rules preview and predictions and that card, we're talking about the matches one by one. Of course, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week are up, so you guys make sure to go check out both those videos. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week are up, as well as Behind the Mic, where we cover all the news in the WWE coming up this Saturday. So make sure to stay tuned for that. And, of course, WWE Extreme Rules review and results coming in on Sunday after that show goes off the air. So it's going to be a busy week for the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. And if you don't want to miss a thing, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and most importantly, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to get a higher chance of actually getting these videos, because, I mean, the WWE, or not the WWE, YouTube is terrible at getting these videos to you. But besides that, Make sure to go do all that good stuff. For now, let's get right in to the preview and predictions for Extreme Rules. We're starting off here with this match, which should be on the pre-show. Don't know why it's not. Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Alicia Fox and Noam Dar. Nobody has given a living fuck about this match. Nobody cares about Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox versus or Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Alicia Fox and Noam Dar. I don't care. I really don't. 205 Live has been plummeting. I believe there was a statistic out there that the WWE Network last month, the 205 Live show wasn't even in the top 20, and it was even beaten out by some old WCW pay-per-view. You're telling me WCW, a brand that has been dead for 15 years, outdid 205 Live last month? Are you kidding me, bro? That is terrible. That is awful. So you know I'm not watching 205 Live, and I'm a hardcore, at least I would consider myself that. Look at me, I'm sitting here doing a review of all this crap, watching NXT, Raw, Smackdown, these pay-per-views, going on the WWE Network almost on a daily, watching some old content. I mean, I am reading news stories every single day, bro. So I would consider myself a hardcore. Yeah, you can't even get me to watch 205 Live, bro. You can't even get me, somebody like me, who's just watching all this wrestling, all of this crap, to watch 205 Live. You know this show is plummeting. This show is plummeting. And they could be putting on good matches on that crap, but the bottom line is that Monday Night Raw, and the fact that the cruiserweights aren't being showcased correctly on Monday Night Raw, is completely killing them. You're putting them in these Monday Night Raw storylines that don't mean jack shit, and I don't know why Sasha Banks is being included with the cruiserweights. If you're telling me Sasha Banks is at 205 Live level and you're planning to get her in a feud with Bayley by August, I don't even know. If she's losing to Alicia Fox on a weekly. I don't even know if Sasha Banks is going to be ready for that by this summer. Jesus Christ, bro. I don't even know. Because Sasha Banks, this used to be the boss. This used to be the legit boss down in NXT, making little girls cry. Sasha Banks doing great work, bro. And now she's on this level. Imagine how depressed, imagine how uninspired, unmotivated Sasha Banks must be. Why is she in this bullshit feud? I know you need to get her on the show because she's Sasha Banks and all, and she's selling merchandise, but do you really need to put her in this crappy ass feud? I mean, turn the woman heel. I mean, you just had the addition of a superstar shakeup, Mickie James, on your Raw Women's roster. Instead, she's been used as a cog in the machine here. Mickie James, who came in with so much promise, she lost to Alexa Bliss. That's the last time we saw her in a 5-minute squash match on Raw. Why not turn Banks heel, or Mickie James, keep her in her heel run? I noticed she's been more face recently, and put Sasha Banks in a damn good program with Mickie James instead of this bullshit program with Alicia Fox and Noam Dar and Rich Swann, who's just here because Sasha Banks needs a partner. Makes no goddamn sense. It's garbage. No one cares. And honestly, if this is on the main show, this is going to be your bathroom break. So, Jesus Christ, I say get this off the card, put this on the kickoff show, turn Banks heel, put her in a program with James until she can go back into feuding with Bayley going into SummerSlam. But get some credibility behind her, put her in a feud with Mickie James, because right now Sasha Banks is an absolute zero. Obviously she's going to win this match, but is that going to give her any momentum? No, because nobody goddamn cares about this feud, and you really need to get rid of this entire segment altogether. put 205 Live, by the way, on in front of Full Sail, the NXT crowd. They're absolutely fantastic. And instead of in the middle of nobody gives a crap Alabama, where nobody in front of these SmackDown crowds, where nobody gives a crap about Jack Gallagher or Noam Dar. I mean, nobody cares in the middle of hillbilly Alabama. Nobody gives a crap. So put them in front of Full Sail, a crowd that will actually care. Put this show after NXT on Wednesday nights and make this into something worth watching. Get these guys off of Monday Night Raw, and then you will see your numbers go up for 205 Live. There you go. Moving on here to the Cruiserweight Championship segment here. They completely fucked this up in one goddamn week. This was decent, and it was just one of those Raw feuds that you're sitting here, Neville versus Austin Aries, you're sitting there saying, they can really be doing something more special with this. You're going into Extreme Rules. You're telling me we can't see a big brawl between Neville and Austin Aries before the fallout to Extreme Rules? No, 1 week before, Neville is inevitably going to lose the Cruiserweight Championship to Austin Aries. Monday Night Raw has to have Neville tap out on Monday Night Raw. And I know it really doesn't mean anything. It was a goddamn tag team match. It's bullshit, I know. But really, man, I mean, it's inevitable. You know Austin Aries is winning this matchup, at least if you ask me. I mean, it's been 3 straight pay-per-views. And, I mean, it's just time. It's time for Austin Aries, who has been chasing all this time, to finally overcome the heel in Neville. So why the hell would you have Neville tap out, unless he's going to continue to be Cruiserweight Champion, to Austin Aries? Did you just need to give Aries that small victory so Neville can go in and win the war? Is that what you wanted to do? Because I understand why you would want to keep Neville as Cruiserweight Champion, especially until SummerSlam. I don't know why you would do it at some B-level pay-per-view like Extreme Rules. I understand that mentality. But if you are going to do it at SummerSlam, it's certainly not going to be with Austin Aries. I wouldn't want to see Austin Aries feud for Neville all the way until SummerSlam. I mean, Jesus Christ, that would be a very, very big stretch. That'd be 5 months of feuding. And at that point, I don't think the Raw creative team would even care enough themselves to want to book this. So I don't know what you have to do here. I say put it on Aries. Have him beat Neville again at Great Balls of Fire. Have Neville make his way up the ranks. Maybe you could give Aries another challenger. That's the problem. I don't know who in that Cruiserweight division will challenge Austin Aries. Who the hell? I don't even know who Neville's next opponent would be. There's literally nobody. Neville beat Swan. He beat Gallagher. I mean, TJ Perkins. But then again, where's the investment in TJ Perkins? Where is the investment in anybody in that Cruiserweight division? Coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic, these guys had so much promise, so much hope. But you go into this time of year, bro, and it's like everything nobody cares, bro. Everything nobody cares. Last week, Monday Night Raw did a 2.6, and they weren't even competing with an NBA final, bro. They weren't even competing with an NBA final. So if you're telling me they're still doing a 2.6, that goes to show you it's not the fact that they're competing with the NBA or the hockey or whatever it may be, or baseball this time of year. It's the fact that they just have the crowd in this mode where everybody's just saying, I don't care. This is trash. I'm saying, I don't care. This is trash. I mean, it's terrible. It really is terrible. Nobody gives a fuck about anything going on Monday Night Raw. And it's feuds like this where you're not taking any risks. You're not doing anything to distinguish these feuds from the normal. I mean, even if Austin Aries does win, you give Neville his rematch going into Great Balls of Fire. You're really going to go into SummerSlam with Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins? Who wants to see that, bro? Not me. Not me. We've already seen that multiple times on Monday Night Raw, free television, and it's been I mean, I just don't understand what they can do. To me, there's really nothing. This cruiserweight division right now just needs a big refresh. And I say, my final prediction is Austin Aries wins. But then again, what does he go and do after that is where I draw my blank. So, if you want to leave in the comment section below what you would do with this cruiserweight division, you can go ahead. But as for now, I have no goddamn idea. We go to the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. This is going to be a very good match. This is going to be a very good match. And this is, again, another case of one of those feuds that has just been built. No risks taken. I mean, these guys are so physical. The match they had at Payback was so goddamn physical. But you're telling me you're giving these guys the build of that formulaic copy and paste bullshit. Last week you had Wrestler A come out, Wrestler B come out, and I mean, then the Wrestler A is outnumbered by Wrestler C and D, who are with Wrestler B. So Wrestler B, Dean Ambrose, calls Wrestler E and F the Hardys, bro. I mean, are you serious? Are you serious? Why are you giving these guys, who obviously can do more, guys, such talented guys like Sheamus and Cesaro, who obviously can do more, why are you giving these guys, Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardys, who can obviously, I mean, give you a wonderful storyline, if you want to quote broken Matt Hardy. These guys can obviously give you a storyline that you're going to be like, wow, that's amazing. But instead, you give them the same formulaic storyline instead of giving us a big brawl. I mean, you're going into extreme rules. There's nothing extreme about the build here. There was nothing extreme about the build here. And that's just made this fall flat on its face. Don't understand why this is a steel cage match. Obviously, the Hardys got to choose the stipulation, yet they choose a ladder match. They choose a steel cage match instead of the ladder match where they would obviously win. Jesus Christ. It makes no sense to me. Makes no goddamn sense to me. But, I mean, that's Monday Night Raw's logic for you. Who do I think is going to win this match? I mean, it's quite obvious. I think, actually, not quite obvious. Not quite obvious. I don't know what I'm saying here. Not quite obvious. You see the stipulation of the steel cage, and I say, with the fact that the Hardys have gotten one over every single goddamn time they have went on one-on-one with Sheamus and Cesaro. The Hardys have gotten one over on them. The Hardys have always won. I say the Hardys have won so many goddamn battles. I say let Sheamus and Cesaro win the war. I say let Sheamus and Cesaro win the war. I mean, maybe that's the reason that this is a steel cage match, to make it believable that the Hardys could lose, because if it was a ladder match, everybody would be like, this is their match, bro. This is their match, and they just lost at their match. It makes no sense. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know, but I think Sheamus and Cesaro are going to win here because, I mean, to be quite honest, it makes no sense that Sheamus and Cesaro have been the heels, dominant heels. They did great in that tag team turmoil match a couple weeks ago. So, which I can't even remember anymore because Monday Night Raw is such a blur. But they did so great in that tag team turmoil match, and it's the only time they've really looked dominant. But then the Hardys next week would kick them down because the Hardys have won at every single intersection that these guys have crossed. So I say it's time that Sheamus and Cesaro get one over on the Hardys. I think Sheamus and Cesaro are bringing in the tag team championships, and maybe this could be the start of the broken gimmick being developed on WWE television, but to be quite honest, I have no idea. I'm going with Sheamus and Cesaro just for the mere fact that the Hardys have won at every single twist and turn. So I say Sheamus and Cesaro lose, or win this match, I should say. We go to the Intercontinental Championship match, which I completely forgot was happening. What the hell? This is happening, bro? Dean Ambrose versus The Miz with the no disqualification advantage going to The Miz. The way they said this on Monday Night Raw was absolutely retarded. They said that if Dean Ambrose gets disqualified, that he loses the title. So you're telling me The Miz could just slap Maurice and he's going to lose the title? You couldn't have been more clear. Or that Maurice could just slap The Miz, I should say. Did I say The Miz could just slap Maurice? But Maurice could just slap The Miz and Dean Ambrose loses the title. What the hell? Are you serious? That's really the way you want to have your champion lose the championship? No, that makes no sense. You should say if Dean Ambrose does something that will get him disqualified. You should have been more clear about that on Raw. If Dean Ambrose does something that gets him disqualified, then he loses the title. But I mean, it's pretty much going to go that way, I think. Maurice is going to slap The Miz, Ambrose is going to lose the title, and it's going to be bullshit controversy. Makes no goddamn sense. That's what I say we see here. Miz is winning the IC title because of Monday Night Raw's gay creative decisions. Just straight up retarded creative decisions right there. Makes no goddamn sense to me. Moving on here, I really don't care about that match, so there's nothing really to say. That's why I'm not discussing the builds. I mean, these guys have been feuding for God knows how long. They were feuding on Smackdown. Who gives a crap? I don't. Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. Oh my God. Should I even discuss that segment we saw on Monday Night Raw? This is your life, Bayley. Oh my God. Every time Alexa would say that, my ears would bleed so hard. Jesus Christ. That segment was so terrible. Just yesterday, I went back and watched the original This Is Your Life with The Rock and Mick Foley. Oh my God, that was so much better. Bayley wasn't even out there. That's the biggest problem. Bayley wasn't even out there. She was in the back for the entire time. Bayley wasn't even out there to take this outpouring from Alexa Bliss. Jesus fucking Christ. That segment was so cringe. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Again, the bullshit booking, the retarded booking of Monday Night Raw. I don't even need to discuss this crap, but every time Alexa Bliss has hit Bayley with that kendo stick, it has been looking brutal, bro. I think Bayley is going to win this match. I mean, they've only built it that way. I mean, first of all, Bayley's going into SummerSlam against Sasha Banks. There's no doubt about that. Bayley is going into SummerSlam versus a heel Sasha Banks, and she needs to go in with the championship so Sasha Banks could win that. So I don't like to flip-flop other titles, but I mean, I think it's the way it's going to go. Second of all, they've been building every single week. Alexa Bliss has gotten the upper hand on Bayley. Every single week she's hit Bayley with that goddamn kendo stick. So you're telling me that Bayley is just going to get hit with that kendo stick one more time and she's just going to lose? I don't think so, bro. Bayley's going to finally unleash that rage of that garbage This Is Your Life segment. She's finally going to come out of this friendly... I don't know. I'm not even sure about that, bro. She's finally gonna come out of this. And the way Bayley's been just interrupting myself here. The way Bayley's been booked on Monday Night Raw is absolutely terrible. This girl cannot have. I mean, she never stopped smiling, bro. Even when she came out, I mean, it's a little front. Oh my God, I'm sad. I'm sad. What happened to the Bayley who let out her frustration on Sasha Banks when Banks kept bullying Bayley's fans? What happened to that, bro? What happened to that? Bayley was able to, she took it to Banks. In this feud, she's just been, oh my God, leave me alone, Alexa, you big bully. I'm going to tell my father. I mean, the way they portrayed Bayley has been like an absolute pussy on Monday Night Raw. It's terrible. I was actually at the Monday Night Raw in Brooklyn where Bayley debuted. We were all so excited, and look what has been... look what has become of Bayley's Monday Night Raw tenure, bro. Oh my God, it's been absolutely goddamn terrible. Hopefully, Bayley and Sasha Banks do some great things going into SummerSlam, but I even doubt that, bro. Hopefully, Bayley wins the championship back here. We can move on from this feud after Great Balls of Fire, which is still a terrible name. And we go into SummerSlam with Bayley and Sasha Banks. So, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But the This Is Your Life segment on Monday Night Raw was AIDS, is all I have to say. Moving on here to your main event of the evening, the Fatal 5-Way Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe. I mean, I wish Samoa Joe won this match. I so wish Samoa Joe won this match. Not going to happen there. I don't think that's going to be the case. There has been confirmation, in rumors at least, that the person who does win this match is going to go into a short 1-month feud with Brock Lesnar going into WWE. Great Balls of Fire. It's not going to be Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns would be my pick for logical, for if you want to make this match logical. I mean, Braun Strowman was the guy who was supposed to go against Brock Lesnar or going into these months. Roman Reigns was the guy who took out Braun Strowman. And I don't want to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. And I don't want to see Brock Lesnar hold that Universal Championship hostage from all these deserving guys for a year. So I just say, put us out of our misery, have Roman Reigns win the title, and I mean, have him hold it, maybe even lose it along the way going into WrestleMania 34, or lose it at WrestleMania 34 to a Finn Balor or somebody like that, and that's when Finn Balor finally regains his Universal Championship after a year of being back. That's what I say you do, but I don't think WWE is going that way, so it's not going to be Roman Reigns. Don't think it's going to be Samoa Joe, even though it's the only legitimate match I see coming out of this match. It's not going to be Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt can't even beat Randy Orton. I don't think it's going to be Finn Balor. You're not going to put Finn Balor in a 1-month feud with Brock Lesnar. So I think it's going to be, yes, Seth freaking Rollins. I mean, he's done a great job. I mean, he has no personality, but that's not his fault, bro. But that's not his fault. Seth Rollins has been putting in some great in-ring work over these past couple months. He came out of a knee injury going into WrestleMania, still made it. For all the hard work Seth Rollins has done, I say you reward him. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Maybe, what I think is going to happen, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Rollins gets screwed by Balor at Great Balls of Fire. Triple threat, Rollins, Balor, Lesnar going in to SummerSlam, because, to be quite honest, one-on-one, I do not see Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar being a contest, but the way you built Seth Rollins as of late, I actually do see him kind of being a contender against Brock Lesnar. So that's what I think is going to happen. The Eater of Pins will not be the challenger for Brock Lesnar. Bray Wyatt, no. Roman Reigns, despite the fact that he's beat everybody on the goddamn build to this matchup, no. Samoa Joe won last week on the go-home show. What does it mean if you win on the go-home show? That means you're losing at the pay-per-view. So I think they just gave Samoa Joe this victory, or that victory on Raw, to console his loss at Extreme Rules. So, I mean, I think it's going to be Seth Rollins. Whoever Seth Rollins pins, it's probably going to be the Eater of Pins. That's what I think is going to happen. Seth Rollins is going into Great Balls of Fire against Brock Lesnar. And then you have Finn Balor attack, and they go into SummerSlam in a triple threat, because that's the only way I see Finn Balor going into a match against Brock Lesnar. So that is your WWE Backlash preview and predictions, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed every single thing that you heard here. Again, I think this is going to be a good pay-per-view. Probably going to be a 6.5 out of 10 pay-per-view, just because of the in-ring ethic and the in-ring quality of work that these men and women are going to put into the show. But do I think it is going to be an A pay-per-view or even a B-level pay-per-view based on the quality of storyline? No. If I'm basing it off the quality of storyline and build, it is a goddamn F. So that is what I think of WWE Extreme Rules going into the pay-per-view this Sunday, June 4th. Make sure to join me after that pay-per-view goes off the air, because I will be doing a review right there. Ooh, look at that rhyme scheme, bro. Perfect way to go off. So make sure to go check out all the other things on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Raw and Smackdown reviews for this week are up behind the mic this very Saturday, where we cover all the news in the WWE for the week. And of course, Payback or Extreme Rules. What the hell am I saying? Extreme Rules preview and predictions after that show goes off the air. So make sure to go stay tuned for all that good stuff. For now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and for now, I am out of here. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, and make sure to subscribe, because for now, I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video.